Have you ever received a random text message from an unknown number? Maybe someone asking, "Hey, is this Zach?" Most of us ignore it, maybe block it, maybe laugh it off. But for one family in Ohio, that innocent wrong number text turned into a nightmare. Within months, a man and his sister lost over $6 million, their life savings, to a scammer they thought was a friend. This is the shocking story of how a scammer calling herself Shaw Goddess tricked two people into pouring their futures into fake crypto investments, and how the FBI fought back to recover part of their stolen fortune. It started simply, almost harmlessly. An elderly man in Bristolville, Ohio, got a text message from an unknown number. The message wasn't threatening. It wasn't even spam. It was just a casual message asking for someone named Zach. Most people would delete the text and move on. But this man replied politely, "Sorry, I think you have the wrong number." And that reply was the beginning of the scam. Because on the other end of the phone wasn't a stranger making a mistake. It was a scammer setting a trap. The person introduced herself as a woman. Online, she went by the flashy username Shaw Goddess. She was charming, attentive, and eager to keep the conversation going. At first, the texts were light, just small talk, friendly, nothing suspicious. And little by little, she built a connection. Eventually, she suggested moving the conversation to Telegram, a popular messaging app. Why Telegram? Because it's encrypted, harder to trace, and a favorite tool of online scammers. The victim agreed. He probably thought, what's the harm in chatting? He had no idea that this new friendship was the start of a well-orchestrated financial trap. Over time, Shaw Goddess started sharing stories. She painted herself as a successful investor, someone who had made a fortune trading cryptocurrencies. She talked about the lifestyle it gave her, the opportunities, the freedom. To the victim, who was retired and looking for financial security, it sounded inspiring, it sounded believable, and soon it turned into an invitation. Why don't you try investing too? I can show you how. At first, the victim hesitated. He wasn't an expert in crypto, but Shaw Goddess reassured him. She promised it was simple, safe, and most importantly, profitable. With her guidance, the man opened a new account with Crypto.com, a well-known exchange. It looked legitimate because it was legitimate. That's part of the scammer's trick. Start on real platforms to gain trust. But soon, he hit a limit. Crypto.com capped the amount of cryptocurrency he could buy. No problem, Shaw Goddess said. She had a solution. She convinced him to open a second account, this time with Strike.com, another crypto exchange. Step by step, she was guiding him deeper into her trap. Here's where the scam got sophisticated. Shaw Goddess told the victim to transfer his crypto into a different platform, one she claimed was a private investment opportunity. But this wasn't a real platform. It was a fake website, designed to look like a legitimate trading portal. The victim could log in, see charts, watch his investments grow on screen, except none of it was real. Every dollar he put in was money gone. Over time, he invested more and more. And then he convinced his sister to join in too. She trusted him, and through him, she trusted Shaw Goddess. Together, they invested over $1.6 million. For months, everything looked fine. The fake platform showed incredible returns. The numbers on the screen went up and up. But then came the first red flag. When the victim tried to withdraw some of his profits, the platform blocked him. No matter what he clicked, his money was locked. Around the same time, his sister tried to make a withdrawal. That's when the platform hit her with a shocking demand. Before she could access her money, she had to pay a 10% tax up front. That was the breaking point. The man had a basic understanding of how taxes work, and this didn't make sense. No legitimate bank or platform asks you to pay taxes before giving you your own money. And in that moment, the illusion collapsed. They realized they'd been scammed. Imagine the heartbreak. Years of savings, gone. The trust between a brother and sister, shattered. A faceless scammer, probably halfway across the world, now holding their future hostage. But this wasn't the end. The victim reported the crime to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. known as IC3Gov. And that triggered a massive investigation. Federal agents began digging into the transactions. Luckily, cryptocurrencies operate on something called the blockchain, a public ledger that records every transaction forever. By analyzing the blockchain, agents were able to trace some of the stolen money. They followed the trail across accounts, exchanges, and wallets. Eventually, they located a stash of 325,060 Tether tokens, about $325,000, sitting on the Tron blockchain. And here's the twist. Even though crypto is often called untraceable, the FBI proved that with the right tools, it can be tracked. On December 31, 2024, the tokens were frozen by Tether Limited. Later, they were transferred into a U.S. law enforcement-controlled wallet. For once, the scammer didn't get away with everything. In August 2025, the U.S. Attorney's Office filed a civil complaint to permanently seize the funds. If successful, the government plans to return the stolen money to the victims. It's not the full $1.6 million, but it's something. And more importantly, it shows that law enforcement is cracking down on these schemes. This story carries painful lessons, not just for one family, but for all of us. Be wary of wrong number texts. Many scams start as casual conversations. Never trust strangers online with your money. Scammers build trust before striking. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Huge returns, secret platforms, or pressure to invest fast. All red flags. No legitimate company asks you to pay upfront taxes to withdraw money. That's always a scam. Report scams immediately. Sites like IC3Gov exist to help victims and catch criminals. This Ohio family lost their life savings to a scammer hiding behind a fake name and a fake platform. But by speaking out, their story can protect others. If you've ever gotten one of those wrong number texts, be careful. Because behind that innocent message could be someone waiting to take everything from you. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and share this video with someone you care about. And if you want to hear more real scam stories, the tricks, the losses, and how the FBI is fighting back, make sure to subscribe. Because the best way to protect yourself is to see the scams before they see you.